cracking?
Alright, we good now?
Yeah.
Alright. Take number 2 or 3, whatever it is. Episode 7. Sports on tap. A lot of talking points this week, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Big week of footy. Big week of footy. So, as I said, a lot of talking points. Very interesting ones as well. Round 4 done and dusted, and just like that, we're up to round 5 of 2024. It has gone by so fast already.
Oh, yeah.
I remember Vegas like it was tomorrow, but we're here. Round number 5. So, as usual, we will start off the episode with our previous round recap, and then jump into our moment of the round.
Mm-hmm.
So, first off, we had the Penrith Panthers and the Sydney Roosters. Panthers took care of business in that one. It was 22-16. Panthers, they got off to an absolute flyer, though.
Oh, yeah.
What were they? I think they were up like 16-0 or something, if that. 14-6 they got off to a good start. And then I honestly thought that we both had the Roosters,
Yeah.
but just that Panthers, like, even though they didn't have Cleary, I honestly should have saw this coming. Like, because it's the Panthers. It's pretty obvious now they can win games without main players. So
Yeah.
the Roosters, their late comeback
Yeah.
was no good.
What is it? No, it's alright. Thank you, though. Sorry, what was that?
Yeah, the Panthers comeback. The Roosters comeback left it a bit too late there in that loss. But unfortunately for Roosters fans, falling down. And then Good Friday, we had the All Bunnies picking up their first win of 2024 against the Bulldogs, 20-16. Bulldogs,
Yeah.
they were up. I think they were up at halftime, 12-10. They did have a little bit of a late comeback. I wouldn't really call it a comeback.
Yeah, they got
It
like
was
a
a close
really
game
late
either way.
try, yeah.
Yeah, Connor Tracy in the 79th minute. But honestly, it was from the kickoff when the Bulldogs shifted it right, just before full time. Actually, I thought they were going to go the length of the field. Not going to lie, they had the numbers. They did have the numbers there, the doggies, but I don't know what happened to them. But your bunnies have finally got their win. How do you feel?
I'm very glad we did look we looked way more improved compared to last week, but I'm still not convinced. Like, we still don't look as good as like our form earlier last year, but it is an improvement. So I can't really be mad about that. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know you're happy with the win, but winning by 4 points though against the Bulldogs, like,
Mm,
it's not the best.
mm,
Not the best, but it's at the end of the day, a win is a win.
yeah.
So can't complain. And big attendance there. Actually, it was 35,000. So
Basically, that's
very
probably
good for
Bulldogs home
yeah.
game. There was so many Bulldogs supporters. It was
I mean, no
crazy.
matter where you go, like there's a lot of their Bulldogs fans are out everywhere, no matter where you go. So 35,000, good for our annual Good Friday clash. But good job on the Bunnies for picking up that win.
Mm.
They definitely deserve it. And then Friday night, I was super happy with this performance. The Broncos 38, North Queensland Cowboys 12. Um, I was there. Crowd was absolutely electric. You see the attendance?
No, what was it again?
It was 45,000 people at Suncorp Stadium on Friday night.
I read somewhere that technically it was a setup, but apparently due to some rules they weren't allowed to say it, but it was like filled up the whole stadium,
Yeah,
so
there was honestly no singles. I didn't. There was a fair amount of seats, but they were only single ones. And checked Ticket Tech Friday morning to see how much tickets were left. They were only down to singles.
mm,
So for a Queensland derby, round 4, Friday night, it was expected to be a sellout. But this performance, I honestly no one was unless you're a Broncos fan. Not many Broncos fans expected a big win, but Broncos to win by by 26 against the Cowboys, who had a dominant start to the season. I
Mm.
just don't know what went wrong with the Cowboys in this game.
I mean, you know what they say. I mean, Cowboys are shit in the brains, so.
Yeah, I mean, like as we said last podcast, they scored 100 points in their first three games, and they only scored 12 points in it. They got kept to zero the entire second half. So
Mm.
I mean, the Broncos they just came out to play. Obviously, they had their big loss the week before to the Panthers,
I
and
just have
then
the quick props. Adam Reynolds' kicking was actually insane. It was
Reynolds,
actually
yes,
crazy.
he only had his one miss, so he went
Mm.
5 for 6 on the kicking. Did Adam Reynolds?
Mm.
So and we saw against the Bunnies, I think he went like 2 for 5 or something,
Mm.
and then now this game he goes 5 for 6. I mean, it's just his kid. He's a freak, Adam Reynolds, and he's only 35 as well. So as we were saying, he's playing like he's a rookie, but good to see him back on the field, Adam Reynolds. So
Mm.
dominant victory. I don't know. Maybe this is a reality check for the Cowboys, but hey, I mean, we're only round 4. They'll get better as time goes on, and then that day a bit of an upset here. This game, Dragons 20 and Manly 12. I don't know what happened. I didn't get to watch this game, but I don't know what happened with Manly. Did they just like slip
They
off
did.
or something,
They
or?
didn't. They didn't look good. I mean, to be honest, the game was a little bit hard to watch, but Manly did not look good at all. They didn't. I don't know what happened.
I mean, I
Like,
got to watch a bit of the game at Rabina, but I don't know. Looking like it, Manly they only scored a try in the third minute and the 76th minute did Manly. So
mm,
Dragons obviously they just look good, and there was 16,000 people at this game, and obviously happy, but one man though, Tyrell Sloan, he's had a phenomenal start to the season.
oh yeah.
I mean, he scored his hat trick in round 1. He didn't score against the Dolphins. I can't remember if he scored last week, but he scored 2 tries uh, in this game. So he's an absolute freak of a fullback.
Oh yeah.
So good pickup good to see him at his best footy so far. But good win for the Dragons there to win against Manly. And then of course Saturday night another game I went to Titans and the Dolphins. I the Titans woes continue once again. Um, I don't know what's. I think it's pretty clear that the Titans are going to win the wooden spoon this season
Oh, they're definitely favorites right now.
because it's
100%.
what did we say? I think what do we have in our chat that the Titans like $1 something for wooden spoon.
I
I know
think
that
so.
they were about $1.44 to win the wooden spoon. The Titans.
Mm,
So I think my prediction of them playing finals footy is going out the window now.
mm,
I mean, they scored the first 2 tries of the game through Jolliffe and Sami, but
mm.
then the Dolphins, they just absolutely steamrolled through them. Bostock scored the double. Herbie scores a try in as a Dolphin. Hamiso and then Josh Kerr. And
I
I don't know, the
mean,
Dolphins, they just obliterated them.
yeah, I mean, I will say my bold prediction about Dolphins making top 8 is looking kind of good right now. I
I
ain't
mean,
gonna
as of
lie.
right now, they are first on the ladder. As of right now.
So technically, if you think about it, at the moment, they just got to like win a game, and they can lose some games. They can easily make the top 8.
It's only taken them 28 games to finish around first on the ladder. That
Jeez.
is the second least amount of games it's taken a club to finish the round first on the ladder. So it's taken them 28 games. That's the quickest it's taken a club to finish first. Can you guess who number one is?
Bronx?
It is the Broncos in their
Yeah.
first ever game. They won that game and they finished the round first. So back in 1988,
Mm,
Broncos finished first after round 1. So and then it goes the Dolphins and a couple other teams. But yeah, I mean you might be right here. The Dolphins might finish in the top 8. I don't see them finishing top 4, but they'll definitely be around that 5 to 6 mark, I reckon.
Yeah, they could definitely easily fight for it.
Definitely. So good job on the Dolphins and uh, the the tackle on Philip Sami from the Dolphins lock. I'm surprised that was not a send off. I
Yeah,
personally thought that was a send off looking at it on replay.
yeah.
But I think it's I think it was actually 2 to 3 week suspension. I was expecting 5 to 6 weeks to be honest, but it looked bad at live.
Mm.
Good to see, and it was good to see Philip Sami get up a couple minutes later and back playing again. But I don't know. My personal opinion, that should have been a send off and 5 to 6 weeks. But hey, the judiciary's made their call.
Yeah.
And then Sunday, Warriors and the Knights. Warriors 20, Knights 12. I honestly thought this game would have been 50-50, to be honest.
Mm.
Like, wasn't the best game. To be honest, it was a little bit of a sloppy one. Um, but I mean, yeah, the Warriors at home, their crowd, another sellout crowd, of course. 3 games in a row that they've had a sellout. Um, Luke Metcalf out for about 6 weeks, I think it is. Sorry, more than 6 weeks. I actually think he's expected to make a late season return. He had his surgery done yesterday morning, so he's going to be out, and that'll put Tamale Martin to the 5'8". So unlucky for Luke. I actually do love him as a player. He's a very good 5'8".
Mm.
Going to be huge for the Warriors, but the Knights, they're not really playing their best footy this season already. Like,
Oh, like honestly, I would say like, as I think I said last week, half as good as they did at the end of last year. They're playing half as good, if not less.
I know. Well, this is the first time these sides met up, obviously, since that semi-final where the Warriors won. Knights obviously would want that revenge, but the Knights, they did have more possession though. Like it was very 50-50, but obviously the Warriors just wanted it more.
Mm.
So good job to see them. And then, well, you're not too happy with this one. The Sharkies 36, Raiders 22.
Fucking
Massive comeback.
faders.
36-4 comeback from the Sharks. Down 18-0, Sharkies scored 36 unanswered points to win down in PointsBet Stadium. I mean, I honestly didn't watch this game, but I saw the Raiders up 18-0, and out of nowhere, Cronulla somehow won. So
Yeah, that first 20 minutes, I was like, yep, my Maltese gonna hit, get a nice little win, and then obviously the 60 minutes happened. After the 20 minutes, I was like, what just happened? What just happened?
yeah, I mean, Cronulla, they just had a wake up call, and then out of nowhere they went on a roll, and one of their young rookies, they debutant Kyle Iro, scoring on debut, won player of the year for the Cronulla Sharks in 2022. So good to see him in first grade footy.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean the Raiders, they just slipped off there in the last 60 minutes. So a bit unfortunate for the Raiders, but Cronulla take care of business there. And then Easter Monday footy, Parramatta Eels against the Tigers. Tigers winning back-to-back 17-16 in a blockbuster. I mean, this was a very, very good game.
Oh yeah.
Tigers taking care of things. We saw a lot of great talent on display, which we'll get to a bit later on, but what a game this was. I had the Tigers and I knew they'd get up, but Para,
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
they just let that one slip away, Para. I think. Well, they let it slip away, and then Tigers, that last 20 minutes, they had the game in their hands.
I just can't believe Gus missed that penalty kick. That was just.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I did expect it because he's not a kicker,
Yeah.
and he's like the commentator said, he's 38 meters out, 6 meters in from touch. You know, when you're 38 meters out that far on a probably a second string kicker, if that was Mitchell Moses, it would have gone right through the middle, to be
Oh yeah.
honest.
Oh yeah.
If Moses was playing, I reckon if Moses was playing, Para would have won and the kick would have gone over. But I knew the kick was not going over.
Mm.
So, a bit unfortunate for Gutho, but good news for the Tiger fans. They get up 17-16. And we'll start off with you. Your moment of the round from that round 4.
For me, yeah, I think you know which one. It's the Galvin assist try. That was just that was
68 minute.
that was something. That was Buller getting that try. Galvin with that breaking through the line. Then as being tackled, gets the offload, gives it to Bullard. Bullard goes for the try, straight under the goalpost.
That was absolutely freakish from Lachlan Galvin, and
Mm.
he had a game. He had himself a game. Apart from his sin bin, that was a very, very good game from the young 5'8". And as we were saying before the podcast started, you know, 3 games in, you know, he's showing why he deserved the number 6 jersey.
Oh yeah.
Like, before round 1 even began, a lot of people were expecting Jaden Sullivan and Aiden Caesar to be the halves. And then Teamless Tuesday comes out. Benji Marshall decides to make a bold call and put Lachlan Galvin in at 6. And he's already proving that decision. So he is an absolute freak.
Mm-hmm.
And then to set up the game winner, well, the game tying try to Jareem Buller, just shows how much of a freak he is. So, but as we were saying before the podcast, Luai coming in next year, you know, that's Luai's going to have the number 6 jersey. You now got Lachlan Galvin, Aiden Caesar, and Jaden Sullivan fighting for a number 7 jersey. So, by the looks of it, could possibly be Lachlan Galvin in at 7.
Mm.
But if he doesn't want it, I was hearing talks that the agent of Galvin wants to seek other clubs because they know obviously Luai coming in, and they're not sure whether Lockie will gain his number 6 jersey or not. So they want to talk with other clubs, but yeah, he's an absolute freak. So good job on the Tigers winning that one. My moment of the round is going to be Corey Oates scoring his try. First try since 2022. Comes on the field at about the 70th minute, and then 5 minutes later he scores a try through Adam Reynolds' kick. And a lot of salty Cowboys fans were actually saying that Corey was offside. They were saying he was about 5 meters offside, but they're just salty Cowboys fans. But like hearing when Corey was warming up, the crowd were electric. But when Corey ran onto that field, that is probably the loudest I've ever heard Suncorp Stadium. Like it was like it felt like I needed earmuffs. That's how loud the crowd was when Corey sprinted onto the field. And he's only 29 years of age, and he's getting this kind of reception. Like obviously, you know, he's not going to fit him somewhere. But after that game, I think you got to keep him in the 17.
Mm.
So, and then when Corey scored the try, Suncorp was just on that. The entire no one was sitting down. The entire stadium were on their feet cheering for about 2 straight minutes when Corey Oates scored the try. So he was pretty pumped up. So that's my moment of the round. Is Corey Oates scoring a try. So we now jump over to round 5. First game tomorrow night. We have the Melbourne Storm and the Brisbane Broncos. Start off with Melbourne. Cameron Munster is back playing footy. He was out. Don't know how long he was. He was out for. I don't know when his injury was first announced, but he actually obviously missed round 1, 2, 3, and now he's back. So good to see Cam Munster back. He's a very, very good 5'8", one of the best. He can definitely be up there as the best the best 5'8" in the game. So this is actually a real huge booster for the Storm. And if I think that if Munster doesn't get named, Bronx are the favourites.
Yeah.
And they not only is Munster back, they also get some big names. They got Jerome Hughes back from suspension, and they get Christian Welsh back. So those are two big names coming back in for the Storm,
Mm.
and to return at a time in a big game against the Broncos too. That's a real confidence booster for the Melbourne Storm. So, but like I said, Munster doesn't get named. Broncos are the clear favourites.
Mm.
So I don't think Munster's going to be at his best straight away. I think it's gonna take him about 3 to 4 games to put him back into his best footy.
Yeah.
But from this game tomorrow night, he's got to play. I have a feeling that Munster's not going to play game one of Origin, just because he's coming back. He's playing footy so late, not
Yeah.
so late into the season, but late into that Origin selection period.
Yeah.
Because Origin selections start halfway through next month. So really, Munster's only got 5 to 6 weeks to prove him to hold on to that number 6 jersey. And you know, obviously the Storm had the bye last week, so that's a game that they lost for Munster to keep that 6 jersey. So
Mm.
I it would be good to see Munster have the number 6 jersey, but I don't know. Like I say, he's got 5 to 6 weeks to prove himself to get that number 7 jersey.
Mm.
Sorry, that number 6 jersey. So Storm, they do have a good team. Obviously, they still got Pappenhausen and their fullback. Good to see him actually staying healthy. Will Warbrick, Nick Meaney, Coates, backline's looking very, very strong, and the forward pack as well. Kamakamika, Harry Grant, Katoa. The forward pack's not the best, but Christian Welsh off the bench. So Storm have a good side, and then the Brisbane Broncos. Um, Obviously, as you said, they're coming off that huge 26-point win last week.
Yeah.
I think that's a real confidence booster heading into this game. Now, I'll tell you why I think the Broncos win this game, because the Storm, they lost to the Knights. That's not a good sign. They lost by 2. They then had a bye. You come up to this game against a side that has just won by 26. I just don't think the Storm have what it takes to win this game,
Mm.
because Broncos coming off a huge defeat to the Panthers, coming off a big win to the Cowboys, and playing against a side who lost to a non-top 8 team right now and then had a bye. I think the Broncos should easily win this game. I think.
Of course you
But
think that, you're a Bronx fan.
I know, but they should easily win this game without a doubt. So
Righto.
they will. They will win. So, but they do have a very. I think they've kept the same team as last week. Not much changes to the 17. Only Xavier Willison is out, but I spoke about him last week. Tristan Saylor. I told you, mate. He's the one to keep an eye on. He was an absolute freak last week.
Oh yeah, 100%.
He should have scored. So I think when Walsh comes back, he's got to stay in the 17. What I think Kevin should do is get rid of Tyson Smoothie and chuck Saylor in that 14 jersey.
Mm.
Smoothie's not the best. He's not one of the best hookers in the game. And then that gives Saylor at least 30 minutes of game time, even if they chuck him in a hooker. So I think Saylor deserves a jersey in the starting lineup. Obviously, Arthurs, Mariner, wingers, Cobbo and Stagg stay there. Ezra and Renault. Good backline for the Bronx. Forward pack still stays the same. And one man, Benjamin Takuta, spoke about him a while ago.
Mm.
209 centimeters tall, will make his NRL debut this weekend. I mean,
Yeah,
who's
fine.
going to
He's like a
stop him?
monster. How much
No
does he
one.
weigh
Who's
again?
110 kg, I think, about 100 kgs. I don't know who's going to stop him. There's no Nelson Asafa Solomona. He's just going to run straight through the Storm forward pack here. The only one that could probably stop him would be Kamikamitha.
Mm.
Really? Like, imagine Takura gets a line break. He's got to go one-on-one with Pappenhausen. Mate, Paps is probably going to break a kneecap. He's probably going to break a bone trying to stop that man.
I mean, he does have a
He's
history.
exactly, that's what I mean. I mean, if that was Ponga, he's probably going to get a concussion trying to stop him. So, no, when Ben gets through, when Ben will score a try. I'm telling you now, he's going to score a try. I don't know how much he's paying, but I bet you that he's going to score a try. And the Broncos fans are going to love him forever. And he's now going to be the Prime Minister of Australia when he scores a try.
What the fuck?
Big Ben. So he's an absolute weapon. So Ben scores, he'll be Prime Minister straight away. Mark my words. But no, it's good to see him, and he's only 18 years of age as well. So good to see the young bloke getting an NRL call up, and of course the man, the myth, the legend, Corey Oates on the interchange. Be good to see him score a try again. So good way to kick Thursday night footy off. And then Friday night, Bulldogs and the Roosters. I think this should be a very, very good game, actually. I mean, there's a lot of ins for the Bulldogs. Bronson Sherry comes back in. Toby Sexton's on the reserves. But Addo Carr comes back for one game. The next game he's out again. With, was it a concussion, I think it is?
I think something like a head knock, was it?
Yeah. I think it's a concussion that Addo Carr. So he's out again. So the injury woes continue for Addo Carr. Out for 3 weeks, and he's out for another week. So that keeps Connor Tracy into the winger spot. Bulldogs, as I said, they're coming off a 4-point loss to the Bunnies. I think they got to. I think they should play like that again last week. To be honest,
Mm.
like they did play really well. They definitely had the chance to win. Did the Bulldogs, but I don't know. They just. I don't know. I feel like they can win this game. They definitely can win this game, especially the way that the Roosters played last week.
Mm.
I think it's got to be like they're big, like that. The captains, Crichton, Marnie. I don't know if Kikau's a vice captain or something, but Marnie and Crichton have got to step up this game. So, and as we said before, the last Roosters won by a point last year. The Bulldogs won by a try the year before that. So there's been a lot of close battles between these two sides, and
Mm.
at their history, the Roosters just edged them out 25 wins to 22. So in fact, previous meetings, 25-24 to the Roosters, 16-12 to the Bulldogs. So a lot of close battles,
So if you're
but
picking someone for a win, definitely do for 1 to 12, I would say.
yeah, 100%. This game would not go over 13 plus.
Mm.
I can guarantee that right now. But the Roosters, um, I don't know. They haven't been the first two games. They were looking strong. In fact, first three games, but last week they just looked pretty poor, to be honest. Like they were the favourites to win, but they just looked pretty poor. Like they saved their comeback till the last minute, which didn't work out.
Mm.
Um, but I mean, the Roosters they got to play a lot better this week. Tedesco's got to step up. Like he always steps up week in week out.
Like they got to
And
play like what they did in the last 20 minutes against the Panthers. They got to play like that, against the Bulldogs, I would say.
yeah, 100%. I mean, they got to last 20 minutes play exactly like that, and they'll get up. And Bulldogs they got to play exactly like they did against the Titans, and they'll win the game. So
Mm.
there's always going to be the one key area that both sides have to win a game in order to win the game. So I reckon this will be a good game. Definitely one to watch. Bulldogs and the Roosters. So 5 o'clock in Sydney, and then Friday night footy, final game. Newcastle Knights, St George Illawarra Dragons. Um, Not really much from this game. One side coming from a loss, one side coming from a win. I It's like the last game. It's going to be 50-50,
Yeah.
but the Dragons have to play exactly like they did last week, and they'll easily win against the Knights. But Knights, this is their third. Yes, this is their third home game in the season, 1-1. Um, they get Dane Gagai back, which is a huge confidence booster for the Knights. And Adam O'Brien has finally listened to me. He has dropped Tyson Gamble, and he has gone with Jack Cogger and Jackson Hastings as the halves. So, thank you, Adam. He's finally gone with the right halves pairing. He's gone with Jack and Jackson. So Jack and Jack are in the halves now, which is good. Um,
I'll say that's
but
definitely a better combo.
it is 100% a better combo because Jackson Hastings is very, very good halfback. Like his ball playing and his IQ ability is very good. Like we saw his IQ against the Cowboys a couple of weeks ago. He set up a great Greg Marju try from a dummy, then he put a kick in because he saw the massive gap that there was. He even did the same thing against who do they play? The Raiders. His IQ was pretty good against the Raiders as well. So
Mm.
poor decision to drop Jacko, and then I think if they had Jackson, the Knights definitely would have won last week. I reckon. I think Jackson's just he's a big player for the Knights.
Mm.
But Ponga, free as always. He's going to be a good matchup. Him against Tyrell Sloan. We've got a playmaker versus a try scorer. So it's going to be a great battle of the ones. I mean, whenever Ponga comes up against a great fullback, it's always going to be a good uh, number one battle. So I'm expecting a very, very good game. I'm not expecting a high scorer. Not really expecting something too big. Obviously, last year we saw that high scoring affair, and last time these two sides met, actually, Dom Young scored arguably try of the year, but it wasn't. But it's your try of the year, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But no Dom Young, obviously, so that's why I don't think it's going to be a high scoring affair.
Mm.
I think it's going to stay unders. Whatever the unders is, I think I actually got that in a multi, to be honest. I'm not expecting anything huge coming out of this game. It's just going to be, all a game about defense. There's not going to be too many points being scored, but it's
Yeah.
still going to be a good game either way. And then Saturday Arvo, Bunnies and the Warriors.
Oh, it's gonna be such a cracker. So
I'm
good.
expecting this one to be a good game, that's for sure. Start off with the Bunnies, coming off a fresh win. They Now it wasn't the best win, but they do have to carry the momentum heading into this game versus the Warriors because against the Warriors, this is actually a huge game for the Bunnies.
Mm.
Definitely a huge one. And Warriors is especially obviously got the return of Nickel Clogstar, which is a huge booster. They get Tamate Martin now into the halves. Um, but the Bunnies on paper, they don't really look that strong to be honest. As I was saying before, their backs, their wingers, I feel like they're gonna get steamrolled by the Warriors wingers to be honest.
Yeah, we have a lot of important outs right now, like AJ, Mitchell, Gray, and stuff like that. Like, it's just. And our edge defense last week was pretty bad compared to our, like, forward defense, so it's. I just hope they work on that in the comp this week, just because it's if it's the same as last week, I 100% agree. Like, we'll get smoked by DWZ and the wingers and that.
Yeah, I mean, Dallon's going to be matching up against, I think it's, what side does Tane play? Left or right?
Right, I think.
If it's right, okay, so Dallon will probably be matched up against Isaac Thompson because Dallon's on the right side. So Isaac Thompson, I don't really know much about him.
Mm.
Um, I don't know if he's a big boy. He looks pretty big. What is he? He's 192 centimeters, 102 kgs. He's played 9 games in his career. He played 7 games last year for the Bunnies. He only scored the 1 try.
Mm.
So I don't know. I mean, AJ's out for the next 4 to 6 weeks. So Isaac does have some shoes to fill there for the next month and a half.
Yeah.
But matched up against Dallin Watani-Zelezniak, like, we know how Dallin is. He's a freak. Obviously, the top second most tries in the comp last season. He almost broke the Warriors' single try scoring record last season. I think he did actually. Like, he's an absolute unit. So I think he'll put on at least 2 tries against Thompson. I think.
I mean, if the average defense same as the Bulldogs last week, then yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a double.
Yeah, I think he's going to be in for a double with Dallin Watani-Zelezniak because
Mm.
very, very good winger. And like I said, this Bunny side doesn't look the best. As you said, Thompson, Isaiah Tass, Milne. There's not much experience. Like Dean Hawkins, obviously not that much experience. Tass and Milne, they're in their first few seasons of rugby league. And then even in the forward packs, the Tola, good strong forward, Tom Burgers, Kaloa Matangi, Jacob Hose, Murray, versus a forward pack of Adam Fanua, Blake Barnett, Ford, New Cotte, and Harris. The Warriors have a very strong forward pack.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest, I think Fanua Blake steamrolls through the entire forward pack here. The only man that can stop him is probably Kaloa Matangi because Adam is an absolute freak. Second best prop in the game. This season, he's probably currently the best prop in the game with Paynas being injured. So, I mean, he's a built boy.
Mm.
I mean, he can score tries whenever he wants. He's 123 kgs, so imagine trying to stop him. No. Absolute freak is this Warriors forward pack, but I don't know. I think I am expecting a Warriors comfortable win, but Bunnies, like you said last week, they got 3 straight at home. They need to step up in all 3 of these games. But
Yeah,
I don't know this.
I think it'll be a little more closer. Even though we do have a lot of like 4 important players out right now, like I think it'll be a little more closer with probably 1 to 12 game. Honestly, even if we lose, as long as we keep it a 1 to 12 game, I'll consider that a win. With all the outs
I
we have
mean,
right now, I'll see it as an improvement against like the Warriors, which is a hot team right now. So
yeah, I'm not expecting a 13-plus win from either side, actually.
mm,
But the only way that a side will win by 13-plus is due to lack of errors.
yeah,
Like, if the Bunnies, say, get 10, 15 errors, Warriors are going to win 13-plus easily. And it's like the same if the Warriors get 10, 15 errors, Bunnies will win by 13-plus.
mm,
So I reckon that's the only way we're going to see a team win by 13-plus due to lack of errors. So that's actually going to be a good way to start off Saturday. And then we got Manly hosting the Panthers. Not really much from the Panthers. Same 17. Cleary was actually expected to come back this week, but I think he's actually held it off for another week. But Cleary's actually meant to return in 3 more weeks, I think.
after the bye, I'm pretty sure.
When's that bye? Is it next week or the week after?
Week
I know
after, I
they got one
think.
coming up. Yeah, so no doubt he'll be back then. So obviously still no Cleary, so Brad Snyder still stays in there. Edwards at the full, but that's going to be a good fullback battle. Tom Trbojevic versus Dylan Edwards. Like, Dylan, he's an absolute freak. I mean, we saw his try last Thursday night. He grabbed a kick around and then he ran around the winger and he scored a freakish try.
Mm.
So, and then versus obviously Tom Javojevic. I don't know. I do have a slight feeling Manly are going to get up,
Mm.
just because they want to bounce back from their loss to the Dragons. They're still playing like a top 8 team, but they are on 2 losses in a row. They don't want to make it 3 losses in a row. And the Panthers, they've obviously haven't lost since round 1, so they're aiming for 4 straight wins. So I do think Manly can win this game, but Manly have also gone with the same 17. No changes at all for them. Another great game down there in Sydney. And then we finish things off with the Dolphins and the West Tigers. Now, I
Ooh.
honestly thought this was going to be a very boring game, to be honest. At first, when I saw the draw come out, I was thinking this is going to be a battle of the wooden spoon. But the way that both sides have been playing, this could potentially be game of the round. A good game. Like, obviously, Dolphins, they're coming off 2 huge victories.
Hold on, I can't believe first place Dolphins versus sixth place Tigers. I don't think I would have ever hear that.
Right, if you told me at last year that in round 5 we're gonna see a first place versus sixth place Dolphins and Tigers, no, I wouldn't have believed it. Actually, if you would have told me the Dolphins finished off the round in first, I wouldn't have believed it. This is what I was saying in our first episode. The Dolphins are going to be in the top 4 up until round 10.
Mm.
They're going to go. I mean, this is one of these sides. Dolphins are currently 2. Both these sides are on a 2-game winning streak. One of these sides are about to win 3 in a row. Like that just doesn't seem right. The Dolphins could win 3 straight, or the Tigers could win 3 straight.
Jesus.
I mean, if the Tigers win, this could probably put them in the top 4. I think. Yeah. So from first place to sixth place, Dolphins, Panthers, Cowboys, Sharks, Storm, all of those teams are lined up on 6 points. Because the Storm, who are in 5th, they play the Thursday. If they win, they go to 8. Panthers. So Storm and Panthers are the only team that plays in the top 6 that are before the Dolphins and the Tigers. If the Tigers win, they're going to be in the top 4. That does not sound believable. Or, if the Dolphins win, they're going to stay in first place again. So, mate, this could probably be a real confidence booster for both their sides. Another thing, one of these sides are going to start the season off 3 wins, 1 loss. If it's the Tigers, mate, I think that the talk should shut up about them winning the wooden spoon.
Yeah, like I think the last time they won 3 in a row was 2018, I believe.
Yeah, 2018, I'm pretty sure. But 2020 was the first time that the Tigers have had more wins than losses. So now they're 2-1. They got more wins than losses. First time in 5 years that they've done that.
Mm.
So I think the Benji era has begun. So
100%.
I mean, like I said, last year when the draw came out, I was thinking, oh, this is going to be a snooze fest and wooden spoon battle. But after what we saw last week and the week before, this is going to be a very, very good game. So, but I do actually have the Dolphins. I do believe the Dolphins should easily win this game.
Mm.
But I mean, you can't leave out the Tigers, especially after we're beating Cronulla and Parramatta, 2 top 8 potential sides. So, but there is no Lachlan Galvin though. So
Yeah,
that
that's
is
what's
actually a big
making
loss.
me really tippy against the Tigers and for the Dolphins. Like, no Galvin. And it's only his in third game, and I'm having that thought process. There's no Galvin, so don't know if they're gonna win, which is just crazy.
Oh no, so This is actually another 50-50. A lot of these games this week are 50-50s, to be honest. But I don't know. Like I said, it's going to be a very, very good game at Suncorp Stadium on Saturday night. This will be a good game to watch. So 6:35, great way to finish Saturday night. And I'll say it again. One of these teams are going to be 1-3, and the Tigers could potentially be in the top four.
Fuck
So
it, no.
that is absolutely crazy. And then, well, we go from a 3-1 team to another 3-1 team to our only winless team in 2024, the Cowboys versus, well, are they even counted as a team anymore? Are
They're
they
the
even a
Spooners.
team?
That's what they call the Spooners.
The Cowboys versus the Gold Coast Spooners. I mean, do we really need to say it? I mean, the Titans, they're just not at their best. I think they should just sell the team. I'm with the
Jesus.
Detroit Pistons fans.
Oh
I'm with
my
those
god.
Pistons fans. Sell the team.
Or just
Like,
like, have all of them in like a airplane and all of a sudden there's a malfunction, you have to get a new team now.
well, I mean, really, if that happens, I mean, the Titans can actually pick any players they want. It's like the NBA, if the Lakers had a plane crash, for the rest of the season, they can take as many players as they want
Mm.
to fill their team. They can even take Steph Curry, they can take Kevin Durant, Giannis, and all that. There's like if the Titans somehow had a plane crash, they can take Reece Walsh as their fullback, Nathan Cleary as their halfback, Ezra Mem as their fight. It's like that.
Mm.
So that's probably the only way to save their season, to be honest. But I mean, the Titans, they're just poor. They only win, and they somehow have 2 points, which is pretty crazy. So the only thing that they've won, they've defeated the bye.
Yeah,
So,
I saw a really funny comment of someone saying, when is the Times gonna win? And someone said buys.
and they've still got 2 more to come as well. So there's not really much about the Titans. I don't know what's going on with them. They are not at their best in 2024. So I feel bad for the Titans fans. Even the Tigers are doing better than them, which is crazy to hear. So, and the Cowboys, they're from their huge loss. That's another reason why I think the Cowboys are going to absolutely dominate the Titans here.
Mm.
Is coming off that huge loss last week to their Queensland rivals, and actually, yeah, Cowboys playing in back-to-back Queensland derbies here. And their first 5 games, 3 of their 5 games have been Queensland derbies, played against the Dolphins, Broncos, and Titans. So currently 1-1 in those Queensland derbies, looking to go 2-1. But you never know, we could see an upset here. We might see a miracle and the Titans could get their first win of the season. But
Oh my god, they would literally Cowboys would literally have to drink like fucking ass, like just drink stupid juice.
I mean, Valentine Holmes will have to have another bag in order for the Cowboys to
Yeah,
lose, to be
I was
honest.
gonna say that.
Yeah, but I don't know. Should be a walk in the park for the Cowboys,
Okay,
to be honest.
I got a question for you. What is like the a way the Titans can win this? Like, tell me like
In this
what is a
game,
way? Yeah.
I think it's the same with the Bunnies and the Warriors game. But Cowboys have to have at least 15 to 20 errors
Mm.
in order for the Titans to win this, to be honest. I just think, like, the Cowboys, they're a very good attacking team, as we mentioned, but I think that it's the Titans' defense. Their defense has to step up.
Mm.
Like, their attack was actually pretty good last week, I'm not going to lie. They had some very good attacking sets versus the Dolphins. So I think it's got to come down to the Titans' defense here. Like
Mm.
every single player has to step up. No matter how bad your defense is, it's gonna have to step up this week. I reckon that is the only way that the Titans can win. to be honest. So their defense, that's how I think they're going to win if
100%.
they are. I mean, that's just like any game, you know. That's why they say defense wins championships.
Mhm.
But for the Titans, that's not in their vocabulary. But anyway,
Fucking hell.
anyway, Raiders and Para to finish things off with Cronulla on their bye. Um, I mean, could we see the Faders again? Maybe. Depends how they play.
Depends if
I
they
mean,
want to
last
play
year,
20 minutes and then just don't want to play the rest of the game.
I mean, the Raiders could be the new Titans then. You know, playing a certain amount and then just slipping off. But last year, Raiders did get the win. This is actually a great way to finish the round, to be honest. Both sides coming off a pretty disappointing loss. Both sides that should have actually won. Um, not really much from this game apart from there's no. The only loss is Zach Hosking. That's the only out coming from this game from both sides. So
Mm.
it's still the same 17. Um, but it's just going to be a battle of the forward pack, to be honest. Like both these sides have got the pretty dominant forward pack in the comp. You know,
Yeah.
Papali'i, Tarpany, Young, and then for Para they got Campbell, Gillard, Paulo, Lane, Madison, Hopgood. Um, I think it's got to be the forward pack that wins this game. To be honest, I think that's the way that one of these sides are going to win is through their forward packs. Whoever can win the forward pack battle wins the game. I
Yeah, I
think
agree.
that's my prediction
Mm.
on this game. Um, so that's round 5 of the week. And news, we haven't really had too much news. Um, not too much news coming out of this week, to be honest. Only suspensions really. That's been the main thing. Tyrrell May is actually. I did read that Tyrrell May, Talon's brother, has actually agreed to a 2-year extension with the Roosters.
Oh shit, really? Didn't hear
Yes,
about
so he's signed on. So the news is actually from um, Clarkie's RL column on Instagram. So this is shout out to him for all these news. So May signs a 2-year. Philip Starmy is actually set to miss the next 3 rounds due to that injury from the tackle last weekend. I didn't actually notice. I don't know if he got named or not. I wasn't actually paying it. No, that's right. He didn't. He didn't get named. And actually, a big talking point that I forgot to mention was Alofiana Khan-Pereira has actually been dropped this weekend.
that. Wait, who?
Khan-Pereira has actually been dropped.
Dropped? What?
Yes, he's been dropped. He's in the
Wait,
reserves.
Khan Pereira in Titans has been
Yes.
dropped.
Alofiana Khan-Pereira is named in the reserves this weekend.
Why?
I don't know. I didn't actually notice that. I forgot
What?
about this. I saw it in the team news. I just forgot to mention it. So Harley Smith Shields and Jojo Fafita are the wingers for the Titans.
Wait,
So
did
yes,
they do this when team lists were announced or just then?
yeah, no, when team lists were announced. Khan
What?
Pereira is named in the 21 jersey. So
Why?
I don't know. That is actually pretty huge that is a huge call from Des Hasler to drop Khan
Wow.
Pereira. So I don't know.
That is actually crazy. I didn't
He
know
is,
about that.
yeah. I didn't actually. I saw it on Team List Tuesday, and I know it's just unbelievable. So crazy to see him dropped. Um. So yeah. Anyways, Zach Lomax. He's actually met with Parramatta today to discuss a move to the club from 2025 onwards. If not, he could potentially move there early. So he met up with them today. Um, not much really. Not much news really. Mainly just the suspensions
Mm.
and everything. So the unavailable players, so the casualty ward, Paynas and Brendan Piakura will return round 8.
Mm.
which will be against the Canberra Raiders. Reece Walsh has actually um, missed surgery, so he's been cleared of surgery, so he's expected to return next week versus the Dolphins. He did have
Alright.
potential to be named in the reserves this week, actually, but he's been given a week off, so he's expected to be back next week.
Just to play it
Same with
safe.
just to play it safe. Same with Willison, head knock. HI expected to return next week. Bulldogs, the main one is Jacob Preston back in round 11 for Magic Round. Josh Adokar probably back next week. Helium Lukey back round 9. Dolphins, they got a couple injuries. Lemuelu back this week. Milford, no idea when he is expected to return. Mitch Moses obviously back round 12. Dan Gagai back this week, same with Leo Thompson.
Mm.
Nathan Cleary is actually returning next week. Round 7.
Oh,
So Nathan Cleary returns round 7 versus the West Tigers.
yeah.
And then obviously they don't have their bye. I think it's around, I don't know when they have their bye. I think it's actually coming up pretty shortly. Round 6.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so this is their final week of their bye. So he's back around 7 versus the Tigers, which is good for Nathan. Bunnies, obviously Campbell Graham confirmed round 20.
Mm.
Jai Arrow actually wants to,
He's been seen training with the bunnies, so
yes,
that's looking
he
good.
actually says that he wants to, he's skipping surgery to play the season.
Mm.
Um, and then AJ out for 4 to 6 weeks. Latrell's brother Mitchell, no idea how long he's out for. Raiders, Topawade back around 5 this week. Hosking next week. Roosters, Spencer Leniu back around 10 from a suspension, of course. Collins, I think he's actually named this week. Manly, Matthew Lodge back round 6. Jason Saar round 7. Finucane round 6. Rudolph round 8. Storm, Cam Munster, Remus Smith, Christian Welch round 5. Suafaa Longo back round 6, which is a big name for the Storm.
Mm.
And the Titans, Liu back round 6. Sami round 9. Tino, of course, is back next season.
Damn.
Warriors, Nickel Clogsard this week. Walker this week. Metcalf, potentially late season. And last but not least, the Tigers, Lachlan Galvin round 7. Adam Dewey, round 17. So,
Mm.
Adam Dewey, man, he's underrated. No one talks about him because he's always getting injured. But round 17, he's back against the Roosters. So, I think we're going to see Adam Dewey, Lachlan Galvin pairing in the halves now.
Mm.
Um, so that's so gone through the news, and now it is time for our last 2 segments. Round 5 tips.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so of course, we start things off in Melbourne with the Melbourne Storm and the Brisbane Broncos. Melbourne $1.44, Broncos $2.79. I'm going with the Broncos, of course.
I'm gonna go Storms on the 12 just because they are full strength, or at least that's what it seems like. But yeah, I think Storms will be out for revenge, especially for Broncos keeping them to nil in the semi-finals last year. So, and they
Oh
have a
yeah,
great record at Amy Park. This will
they
this will
do.
be a this will be a good game though. I'm
They
excited
do.
for it.
Yeah, I'm going Broncos head to head. I'm actually going to do my bets same time as the tips because I feel like it saves a lot more time.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
obviously my tip would be the Broncos. My bet for this week would be the Broncos 1 to 12.
Mm-hmm.
Reynolds for 6+ points. Jordan Ricky anytime at $22.50 odds.
Ooh, okay,
So
okay. So I have Storms ahead, head to head. Xavier Coates, Dean Mariner, or Will Warbrick for 2 or more tries combined, and then over 35 points.
okay, that is actually pretty good. Um, next game, Bulldogs, Roosters, doggies at $3.78. Roosters $1.27. My pick is actually the Bulldogs. That's my prediction.
Ooh,
I'm going the
okay.
doggies.
Alright. I'm
Um,
going Roosters head to head. I really, really like Dominic Young for a try here. And so I have Roosters head to head, Dominic Young for a try, and Matt Burton for 4 more points.
yeah, that's pretty good. So obviously my pick Bulldogs. I'm going the doggies to cover the line at plus 10.5.
Ooh.
Swali anytime and over 38.5 points at $11.50. So I
Oh,
think I think the dogs definitely cover the line.
oh yeah, the 10.5. That's really good.
Yeah. Um,
Um,
Second game Knights $1.39, Dragons $3. My tip is the Knights for sure.
mm, oh yeah, I have the Knights as well.
Um, I'm actually going for a bit of a big one here. So I'm going the Knights head to head.
Mm,
Hong at any time because he's actually scored in the last 3 games versus the Dragons at home. Or just, I think it's actually just versus the Dragons. Frizzell anytime and Tyrell Sloan anytime at $40.50.
okay. I have one simple single bet. Mike Ravelara at $2.45 for a try. He's so due for a try. It's actually not even fun anymore. He is
Uh,
so due for a try. I'm chucking 50 on that.
yeah,
He
I
has to
think
get
he
a
should.
try.
I think he should. Um, Next game, Bunnies $2.04, Warriors $1.81.
Mm,
I'm going the Warriors is my tip, and
mm,
I'm going the Warriors 1-12. Sean Johnson for 6+ points.
mm.
Jack White anytime. Adam Fanua Blake anytime at $49.75.
Okay. I'm going bunnies. Gotta back my boys. And my multi, the try scorers is with the outs right now. It's a little bit hard, and especially our Warriors are playing. So, but Latrell's got a good track record of getting tries against them. So I've gone bunnies head to head, and Latrell for a try that's paying $4.
All right, that's not bad. I
Mm,
was actually thinking of Adam Fanua Blake as the first try scorer because he does actually, most of his tries are the first ones. So I don't know, it's a bit close, but I just think he's going to score a try anyway.
mm,
And then next game we got Manly $2.34, Penrith $1.61. I've gone with Panthers head to head. Ola
mm.
Kawatu anytime and Dylan Edwards anytime at $17.
Oh, okay. I've gone Panthers head to head as my tip, and then for my multi, I've gone Panthers to cover the line -3.5. And I've
Ooh,
gone Taruva to get a try. He is crazy. He's gone like at
he
least
is a
what
try
two?
scoring freak.
He's gonna at least a double every game so far, right? Something like that.
Yeah, I
At
think so
least a
actually.
double with like a triple
Apart
in there.
from apart from round one.
Oh yeah, apart from round one, but
Yeah, so
it's
round one's the only
absolutely
game he hasn't
crazy.
scored.
Oh
So
yeah,
yeah,
being held to nil. That's right.
So yeah, Drew. I reckon he's gonna. He might. I'm not sure about two. But it would be good to see him, but
Yeah.
I know he's definitely gonna score. Though I reckon. Next game, Dolphins $1.59, Tigers $2.34. I have gone a bit of a big one here.
Hmm.
I'm going under 43.5 points. I've gone Justin Olam anytime, and I'm going big here. Even though I probably this actually doesn't make any sense, so I'm going to change it up. Actually, I've gone the over 43.5. You understand why?
Hmm.
Justin Olam anytime, and Jermaine Osako for 10+ points.
Oh.
I don't know. I think that there's going to be Dolphins going to rain tries here,
Hmm.
and with Osako being a winger slash goal kicker, I think he's going to get 10+.
Okay. So I'm going Dolphins as my tip, and my multi I have Dolphins to cover the line at -3.5. I have Jermaine or the Hammer for a try. Then I got the Karasu. I can't
Carousel.
Carousel. Sorry, Carousel for 4 more points.
Okay, well, yeah, he is the goal kicker, obviously.
Mm,
So yeah, I just changed mine up to overs because it wouldn't make sense with the Osako 10+ with the unders.
yeah.
So that wouldn't make any sense at all. So and then the next game, well, Cowboys. Well, I mean, these odds are crazy. Cowboys $1.14. Titans at $5.75.
Oh my god.
It's pretty obvious. Got to go with the Cowboys for this one. And this bet. Cowboys 13 plus, of course.
Mm.
Valentine for a try scorer. And the Titans to cover the line at 16.5.
Ooh.
That's probably the biggest line I've ever seen
Mm.
in rugby.
Yeah, that is actually a crazy line. Like,
Wait till the Panthers and the Titans play. Imagine if the Panthers are minor premiers, Titans win Spooners, because
oh my
these
god.
sides play in round 27, so the final game. So wait for that line.
Fuck. That will be
That's
insanity.
probably going to be like 30.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, so yeah, that's my bet. Cowboys 13 plus, Titans cover the line. Homes anytime at $16.25.
Alright, so I obviously am tipping the Cowboys. Unless if it was raining, then obviously Titans, but I'm tipping the Cowboys. And then for my multi, I have Titans to cover the line at plus 16.5. No for will there be extra time and under 46.5 points.
Well, I mean, no extra time is probably the easiest money you'll ever get.
I mean, it is paying like 10 cents, so, or 1 cent, something
Oh,
like that.
fair enough. In last game, we have Raiders $1.80 as the favourites over Power at $2.05.
Mm.
I'm going with the Raiders, and
Mm.
I'm going Raiders 1-12. Matthew Timoko anytime at
Mm.
over 43.5 match points.
Okay, okay,
I think the last three of the four have actually gone overs, which is pretty good.
okay. So I'm going Raiders, but honestly, it's a coin toss with this game. Depending if Eagles play the same as Raiders, it's a coin toss. But I'm going Raiders. In the multi, I'm going either team to win 1-12, over 35.5 points, and then Max Sifo or Xavier Savage for a try.
I mean, yeah, Sivo did score. I think it was the second. He was the second try scorer.
Mm.
So, yeah, that's my guaranteed pick will definitely be the Cowboys. That's going to be my guaranteed tip of the week
Yeah,
for
100%.
sure. I just $5.75 for the Titans when their line is 16.5. Like that is just unbelievable. Like I feel like that's a bit disrespectful for the Titans. Like and the over unders is 47.5, and they can't split it at $1.90. So maybe Sportsbet's thinking Titans going to be kept scoreless and the Cowboys are going to rain tries,
Mm.
or Cowboys are going to score like 60 points and the Titans will score like 6 or something. So I mean, remember last year the Tigers Cowboys game where the Tigers scored 66. I wonder what that line would have been.
Oh my god.
And even when the Cowboys put 74 on them, I wonder what that line would have been. So I mean, maybe we could see a repeat. Maybe the Cowboys could put 74 on the Titans.
That would be.
I think that's probably going to. Their worst loss in history was to the Broncos, 54-0.
Oh my god.
So hopefully the Cowboys put 53 on them, so we can hold that record. But yeah, that's multi's looking pretty good. So as I said, Cowboys are definitely my guarantee pick of the week.
Mm.
Even though I didn't actually add them in the as a head-to-head in a multi, I just had them 13 plus. So that's everything that we've covered. Going to be a good week of footy, that's for sure,
Oh yeah.
and a great way to start it off with the Storm and the Broncos. So round 5 begins tomorrow night. I'm actually looking forward to this weekend of footy. I won't actually be able to catch up on most of it because I've got a lot of plans, but
Yeah.
definitely going to watch tomorrow night for sure.
100%.
And I mean, as much as it's weird to say this. I hope the Tigers win so they can be top 4. To be honest, would be good to see them win because then yeah, they'll be top 4. That's just crazy to say.
West Tigers top 4.
West Tigers top 4. When was the last time that was said? Probably last time they made the finals. Right. Anyway, that's been another episode of Sports on Tap podcast, and we got a couple of changes from now. I think Onyx, you said you were gonna do the timestamps.
Yeah, I'll be doing timestamps. I'll be including like images of which teams we're talking about and what matches, screenshots of our multis, stuff like that. We'd much more improved.
Yeah. And then how many episodes are on YouTube again?
5, I believe. I believe this is the 6th one.
This is the 7th episode, but 6th episode of this one because I've had my single one. I haven't actually had any time to do my single one about the Aussie sports,
Oh yeah.
but I'll try and get to that. But this is the 7th Sports on Tap episode, but 6th one of NRL.
Mm.
So yeah, so as we were saying, is each episode on YouTube will get better and better.
Yeah.
With like all these editing stuff and everything, and then once we can, we'll start getting the face cam, better equipment, and then we'll be able to get in. Both of us will be able to get into the same room, and it'll make it so much easier, and everything. And and then also, we'll get there's actually Instagram. I don't know if you most have noticed, but that we have an Instagram account. We have a TikTok account for little clips and everything.
Yeah, we'll link those
And
this time in the description.
yeah. So of course we have our Spotify one. Spotify is our main one. YouTube is only going to be NRL.
Yeah.
Our NRL podcast. That's only
Yeah.
thing going up on YouTube. Anything else like Miles Sports One, any other sporting podcast that we do will only stay on Spotify. Instagram is just going to be when our podcasts get uploaded, any news feed posts and everything.
Yeah.
And then TikTok is just going to be any little clips that are important, like talking points and everything.
Yeah.
On TikTok, and then we could maybe if we start growing, we could potentially get a Twitter going, but that's when we start getting like a lot of followers and everything.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah,
And
that's just a little
maybe a
announcement.
Discord server as well.
Yeah, get a Discord server, and then we can get some fans in. Get like say a couple of fans in here, and we can have like a little fan Q&A and everything. Actually, make sure follow the Instagram. Once we reach, what do you reckon, Onyx? What should we go as our follower goal?
I don't want to go too big.
Should we say about 100, and we do like a live stream on YouTube as a Q&A? You think? Or should we make it? Or should Q&A should be a higher goal, like say 250?
And up to you. Like, it's tough. It's tough.
I mean, I reckon I will work on it, but I reckon once we reach a certain amount of followers on Instagram, we'll go live on YouTube, and we'll do like Q&A. You can send us in your sporting questions and everything. Like, it can be, who do you think is going to go on and win the premiership? Like, how's this team doing and all that? Yeah, I think once we reach about 250, we'll get a Q&A going. We'll go live on YouTube. I reckon that's a good idea. So make sure you follow the Instagram. Of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's about it. And then we'll see you next week for another episode of Sports on Tap podcast.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's about it.
That's been
Enjoy the footy.
Up the bunnies.
Fuck off.
Fuck.